I'll never forget the sound of that door closing. Not a slam, just a quiet, final click, the kind that echoes in your bones. It was a Tuesday, not a holiday, not a birthday, just Tuesday. My daughter-in-law stood in the doorway, her coat already buttoned, like she'd been ready to leave before she even said the words. "We don't need you anymore," she said. Her voice was calm, too calm, like she'd rehearsed it. I remember thinking, need? What does she mean, need? I'd made her breakfast every morning for 10 years. I'd held her babies when she cried. I'd mended her wedding dress. But that day, she looked at me like I was a broken chair someone had forgotten to toss out. The worst part, I smiled. I smiled. Because if I cried, if I begged, if I showed how much it hurt, I'd only prove her right, that I was a burden, that I was too much. So I just nodded. "Okay," I whispered. "I'll pack my things." And I believed her. I truly did. Because families don't cast out their own, do they? My name is Margaret. I'm 72. For the past decade, I lived in my son David's house. I raised his children like they were my own. I thought that was enough. I thought love was enough. I was wrong. Let me tell you about my family. Not the perfect picture on the wall, the real one. I moved in with David and his wife Sarah 5 years ago. My arthritis was getting bad, and my little house felt too empty after my husband passed. David insisted. "It's just temporary, Mom," he said, "until the kids are older." But temporary turned into years. Sarah and David were young, busy, working all the time. They had 2 little ones, Lily, who's 7 now, and Ben, 5. Life was chaos, soccer practice, piano lessons, bedtime battles. That's where I came in. I cooked dinner most nights, not because they asked, but because the fridge was always empty. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. to make pancakes for the kids. On weekends, I took them to the park while Sarah slept in. I folded laundry, drove them to dance class, stayed up when Lily had nightmares. I loved it. I'd always wanted grandkids. And David, he was my boy, my only child. We were close, too close. Maybe Sarah was different. From the start, she was polite, too polite. "Thank you for making dinner, Margaret," she'd say, like I was a stranger, not family. She'd smile, but her eyes stayed guarded. I told myself, she's just tired, new marriage, new baby. Give her time, but time didn't fix it. The first real crack came last winter. Sarah's birthday was in December. I spent weeks planning a surprise. Her favorite cake, photos of the kids framed, even a little necklace. David helped me. We hid the presents. The kids were excited. But when Sarah walked in, she didn't smile. "Why did you do all this?" she asked. Her voice was cold. "It's just too much." I froze. "But it's your birthday." "I don't need a production," she snapped. "I just wanted a quiet dinner." David tried to smooth it over, but I saw it, the way she looked at me like I'd overstepped, like I'd made her a burden. That night, David said, "She's stressed. Mom, don't take it personally." But how could I not? The incidents started small. Sarah began leaving notes. "Don't use the good china," one said. "We're not having company." Another, "Please don't redecorate the living room. It's our space." I didn't even want to redecorate. I just dusted the shelves sometimes. Then came the silent treatments. She'd come home from work, drop her keys, and disappear into her bedroom. If I asked, "Can I make you tea?" she'd mutter, "I'm fine," and shut the door. David tried to mediate. "Sarah's overwhelmed," he'd say. "The job, the kids, give her space." But space turned to distance. One evening, Lily spilled juice on the carpet. Sarah stormed into the kitchen where I was washing dishes. "Can't you watch her?" she yelled. "You're here all the time." I turned off the tap. My hands were slippery. I was just what? Standing around. "We pay you nothing, and you can't even keep an eye on your granddaughter." Lily started crying. Ben clung to my leg. David rushed in, face red. "Sarah, stop." But she was already gone. Upstairs, door slammed. That's when I started counting my steps. Don't go into their room. Don't sit in their favorite chair. Don't use their towels. I felt like a guest in my own home. The worst was the holidays. Last Thanksgiving, Sarah insisted we go to her parents'. "It's tradition," she said. But it wasn't our tradition. We'd always been together. I packed quietly. On the drive, David whispered, "She's just trying to make her family feel included." I nodded, but inside I wondered, whose family am I? The final straw came in March. Ben had a fever, high 103. David was out of town for work. Sarah was at a conference, so I stayed with Ben all night, held him while he shook, made soup, wiped his brow. At 6 a.m., Sarah called. How is he? Sleeping, I said, but he still has a fever. Okay, I'll be home at 5. Should I call the doctor? A pause, then, no, he'll be fine. But Ben wasn't fine. By noon, he was delirious. I called Sarah again. He's getting worse. I think we need a doctor. Silence. Then, Margaret, I can't deal with this right now. David should be there. David's not here. My voice cracked. I'm the only one. Another silence. Long, heavy. Then she said it. We don't need you anymore. I dropped the phone. It clattered to the floor. Ben stirred in his bed, hot and confused. I picked up the phone, listened. She'd hung up. For hours, I sat on the floor beside Ben's crib, held his small hand, tried to breathe. At 5 p.m., Sarah walked in, saw me, looked away. The doctor's coming, she said flatly. But next time, call before you decide things. Next time, I whispered. There won't be a next time, will there? She didn't answer, just turned to the doctor. He's been like this all day. I packed that night, not angrily, quietly. David came home. Mom, what's going on? I showed him Sarah's text. We need space. You can stay with Aunt Ruth for a while. He read it. His face went pale. This isn't right. It is, I said. She told me we don't need me. He argued, pleaded, called Sarah names I won't repeat. But Sarah stood firm. We're not ungrateful, she said, but you're always here. You run this house like it's yours. We need our space. So I left. Aunt Ruth took me in. Her place is tiny, just one bedroom, a kitchen the size of a closet, but it's mine. The first month was hell. I'd wake up expecting Lily's laughter, David's keys on the table, Sarah's footsteps upstairs. Silence. That's all there was. I didn't call anyone. Pride. Fear. I didn't know. Then, one morning, I found an old photo album. David as a baby, me holding him, Sarah's wedding, Ben's first steps. I cried for hours. Not loud, just quiet tears that soaked the pages. But something shifted. I started walking, every day, past the park, past the school, past their house. I'd see David sometimes, loading the car. He'd wave. I'd wave back, but we never stopped. One rainy afternoon, I saw Lily at the bus stop. She saw me too. She didn't look away, just stared. Then she ran to me. Grandma. I knelt, hugged her. Hey, sweetheart, why don't you live with us anymore? She asked. I brushed her hair. Sometimes grown-ups need space to figure things out, I said. But I love you, always. She hugged me tighter. I miss you. I miss you too, I whispered. That night, I called David. Can we talk? I asked. He hesitated. Yeah, of course. We met at a diner. Just us. I'm sorry, he said first. This wasn't supposed to happen. I know, I said. But it did. We talked for 2 hours. About Sarah, about the kids, about us. She feels like I chose you over her, David admitted. Like I'm biased. But I'm your mother. I know. But to her, it's different. She's trying to build her own family, her own rules. I didn't forgive Sarah that day, but I forgave me. It's been a year now. I still live with Aunt Ruth. I cook, I read, I garden in her tiny backyard. Sometimes, David brings the kids over on Sundays. We eat pizza, play cards, laugh. It's not the same, but it's something. Sarah hasn't reached out, not once. And that's okay, because I finally understand families aren't always fair. They're messy. They hurt, they change. And sometimes, love isn't enough to make someone need you. But that doesn't mean love is gone. I've learned to sit with the silence, to miss without drowning, to hold memories without clinging. The other day, Lily gave me a drawing, a house, with a sun, and 2 stick figures holding hands, her and me. This is us, she said. I framed it. It's on my wall. So if you're sitting here tonight, feeling cast aside, know this. Your worth isn't measured by who stays or leaves. Your love isn't invalidated by someone's exhaustion. And your family isn't just the people who live under the same roof. It's the ones who remember your favorite cake, who cry when you're gone, who draw houses with you in them. That's family. And that will always be enough.